Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm sure happy to have you guys here. I just wanted to start the reading by thanking you. The last couple days have been, they've been kind of challenging. I've gotten some of the nastiest interactions with people, and I just wanted to share with you guys that you all that commented, you're alchemists. You know, you took that negative and turned it into something positive through your words, your authenticity, what you shared with me so generously, your words of kindness and compassion and wisdom. And I just wanted to thank you for that. I really do deeply appreciate it. It is sometimes really hard when, well, I'm sure you've experienced it too. All right, maybe in a different way, in a different form, but certainly to be as empathetic and caring as you are, it is a reflection of how you have chosen to evolve through your experiences. And so bravo and thank you. Namaste. To those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I am super happy to have you here. I hope that you find a message that brings you some peace and clarity. And gosh, guys, we're going to dive right in. I keep getting this feeling that there's like more than one storyline, even that I may have to even use these cards to do more than one reading, because I feel as though it's like a stacking up energy of messages, which I don't know if that's like a bunch of things that someone wants to get off their chest, like, or if it's different messages from the divine. Okay, so I don't know, but I'm gonna start here and see what happens, see how I feel after this. Okay, all right, so here we go. Pisces. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, Pisces. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'm definitely getting a very strong message here of, okay, I see how this interplays with the energy that I was getting in meditation even too. Okay, wow, how do I say this though? Whew. All right, so in all relationships, right, there are challenges, and relationships really help us grow, and they challenge us to stay in our loving energy. Sometimes we're with a partner who is able to grow right beside us and who is able to meet those challenges with us with equality and with grace and with the right, I don't want to say the right mindset, but a healthy growth mindset. And sometimes we are in partnerships with people who the getting gets tough and the tough get going. And that isn't a reflection of us. What's a reflection of us is how we can stay in the heat of the challenge. Because if we can stay in the heat of the challenge, that is the reflection of us, that we are ready for someone who can also stay there with us. And that, that I don't want to give the impression that we should just carelessly throw away relationships with people who can't, right? Because I understand there are feelings involved. I understand there's a complexity of things. I understand it was hard to get to the point of the challenge with that person. We don't want to start at square one and get to the point with another person. But it's really giving me this very strong message that is not the point. The point is recognizing where we are and recognizing what situations are going to help us continue to grow as people and are going to, and not just like as people, but as spiritual beings. And, sometimes it is the person that leaves, and it is that challenge of being left with ourselves and introspecting and growing on our own as a solo person in relation to a connection that isn't physically, tangibly happening anymore. It's not to say that that isn't valuable. Of course that's valuable. I mean, when you think of the things that you've learned in under that particular circumstance, I'm sure it's maybe even some of the most monumentous things that you feel you have even learned, right? And that is still in connection to that relationship, but it is still a reflection of you with you, that you chose that path, that you chose to have a healthy growth mindset. When you continuously do that, you are really showing the universe that you're more and more and more ready for someone that can meet that with you. And honestly, it's not, I am being impressed very strongly here to stop and to correct this and to say it all has to also do with our soul contracts and what we came here to learn. And that is, if we came here to learn more lessons that we're going to learn through relationships, then it's kind of accepting as it comes this energy of okay, everyone that I go through and I come out still maintaining this sense of love and still maintaining this sense of healthy growth mindset, and I learn what I was to learn from it, the faster I sort of move through these like karmic cycles of lessons that my soul chose to learn in this life, and so it's bringing me even closer and closer to kind of what I want, you know what I mean? Or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? This illusion energy, how we are as people, right? We are seeing things through our own perspective. And if we're super ultra mega compassionate and empathetic, which Pisces has the reputation of being, we will sometimes look through another person's eyes to the best of our ability, right? We will seek, well, how did this person feel in that situation? I was feeling like this, but let me set that aside for a moment and let me look at how the other person felt. Now, we can never know how another person was feeling in the moment without them telling us or trying to convey it or communicate it to us in some way. But oftentimes, especially in the beginning of relationships, it's really tricky or difficult to kind of have those conversations where, for one thing, it's a trust builds over time. So if you haven't had a tremendous amount of time in a relationship, the trust might not necessarily be where you would like it to be, to take some kind of risk or to say something about how you feel or the way you're seeing something, or to ask someone else, how do you feel about this relationship? Where do you see it going? What are your intentions? These are not typically, we may ask on a first date, like, well, what are you looking for? Or something like that. But like, you kind of also want to know, okay, well, if you're looking for a relationship and we've been together 2 months and things have been going well according to the way I feel, how are you seeing it? And that can be a really difficult bridge to gap. And I mean, I think that conversation typically falls on the masculine. And if you're not the masculine, right, and you're waiting for the masculine to say something and they don't, and you get to the point with yourself where you're like, either this is growing or it's not, but I don't want to continue to invest in something or believe something about a situation unless I know it to be true. I don't want to fall for the illusion. This is really Neptunian energy, and it's easy to do when you're a compassionate, empathetic person to sort of say, well, I'm feeling all of this love for this person, or I'm feeling like things are going really well, so they probably also feel like things are going really well. You know what I'm saying? Or like, well, they said this or they did this, because we're also always looking for the cues that kind of back up our perspective, or even sometimes what we want to see in the relationship. But we have to be really careful with that, because we can build this false sense of security that like, oh, this person is feeling the same way I am. And what I get with this admire and this deeply is this is speaking to me about how a connection moves from, I like you, And these are the things that I like about you, to like, I care deeply about you and I don't want to be without you. Like, maybe I even see myself in you, or who I am when I'm with you is someone that I have grown to really love or treasure, or it's that's who I feel I am, and that's who I feel I want to be. And I want to grow and evolve in that energy. And so I feel this energy of a reckoning, or, you know, like a conversation or something where this bubble is popped. See how this person is holding this. I'm going to call it a bubble popper, but it looks like a wand. And it almost feels like, is this what I really desire, or am I fooling myself? You know, kind of energy. And it sort of feels like every relationship sort of gets to this point, but it feels with this challenges card, the way the energy that I feel from this card is kind of like, oh, wow, I finally found someone who is going to weather these challenges with me. So, you know, this can be, I feel like this is sort of a reading for everyone, which is interesting because this morning I was like, when I was meditating, I kept feeling like, you know, more than one scenario, or there's like, I can't really describe it, but it felt like things were stacking up. And so it can be where it's like, I want to choose my words really carefully here for some reason. So I feel like there is like a well thought out communication energy here. Like, I need to really say exactly perfectly what I'm trying to say. But it feels like, okay, if you're getting out of something that didn't work, that got to the point where there was a challenge and somebody bolted, it's almost saying to me, your challenge is to see how you grow from that, what you learn from that, and how you can almost further open up to love and open up to like loving yourself even through that experience, and then to meet with the next challenge. It's like dating is a process. It really, like, I say this, someone else actually made this analogy at some point. I have no idea who it was. One of my friends. It's like sometimes I'm like, wait, was it me? I don't know. But it is sort of like trying on clothes. We kind of, I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people like to try on clothes. I absolutely hate it. In fact, it is a very rare occasion where I'm actually going to try on clothes. I'm pretty much just going to buy them. And then, you know, if I'm like, yeah, I feel this, then I'm pretty much going to buy it. And I'm also the kind of person that like, oh, these jeans fit really good. Great. I have 5 pairs of them. You know what I mean? Where I'm not like the capsule wardrobe French girl. Like, I have this pair of jeans for this outfit. My daughter is that person. And I admire it. And I think, you know, she always looks beautiful and very, very, very well put together. And she takes a lot of enjoyment and happiness in it. But even she, I don't think, likes to really try on clothes. Like, it's something that you sort of have to like get yourself psyched up for. The mirrors are always bad. The lighting's always bad. You know, depending on who's the salesperson working and depending on where you go. I mean, it can just be something that you have to sort of psych yourself up for. And, but yet it's very rewarding when you find that perfect outfit, or you find that perfect pair of jeans that fits you amazingly well, whether you're going to end up buying 5 pairs of the same jeans, or whether you're going to go, okay, I got the perfect pair of jeans for this purpose. You know what I mean? But the thing is, dating is kind of like that. It's like you're gonna maybe try on 50 pairs of jeans to find that one pair, and to find what you're looking for in a pair. You know, I'm looking for the pair that can do everything. You know, my daughter is looking for the pair that can like work really well with this boot and this sweater, or this proportion, or this shape, or, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I don't know, but it's kind of like, we don't take it personally when it doesn't fit. I mean, it is hard. It is hard when thing after thing, I'm 6 feet tall. So like, when I find something, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. So is my daughter actually though. But not everything is going to fit someone who's 6 feet taller. Not every style or every fashion or every trend is going to look good on someone who's 6 feet tall. It's just because it's not average. It's not normal. And I mean, but it has gotten a lot better. I used to have to wear men's jeans. But the thing is, what I'm trying to tell you is that, when we don't take it personally and we sort of say, yeah, that sucked, and I really got invested, and I went to that department store and I tried on 10 pairs of jeans and nothing worked, and that sucks, and I felt like I really invested and I had to get myself all psyched up for it, and then I did it, but like it sucked. You know what I mean? Then just let it go, release it, and say, well, that's 10 pairs of jeans in one department store I can cross off, and now I can focus on the next one. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, now I know what didn't work. And so, and maybe even I got a glimpse of what I'm really looking for. I sort of fine-tuned what it is, or where I need to go, or what I need to be looking for. Or, the sales lady was like, hey, we don't have it, but this store down there does. You know what I mean? Like, that happens a lot too. So anyway, it's this kind of like dating. It's like sometimes, we walk away empty-handed. It happens, but it's okay. Every pair of jeans is not made for you. It's not meant for you. It's not, it's not the right pair. And like, that's the purpose of trying them on, is to find the right pair. So we're going to have some duds, but the thing is, maybe that's better than just buying something and taking it home and then it doesn't work and you're like, oh God, now I have to either return it or donate it, or, depending on what happened and where and all of that. But that's a real pain in the neck. Like, I go through that sometimes and I'm like, oh, or I have to send it back, or I have to, whatever. Anyway, there's just this energy, right, of just sort of, I don't know, zooming out or getting this super high level perspective where we can release something, or we can let it go, or we can, it's almost like taking a scientific look at something where you're not getting emotionally involved in it. You're not replaying things. You're not super attached to what happened or where it could have gone, or you're just sort of like, okay, I tested this hypothesis and this was the result. And yeah, that experiment didn't work. That wasn't the cure for cancer or COVID or whatever. Okay, but what did I learn, and how do I take that to the beginning again? And do it again. Actually, oh wow, I'm not even gonna open that can of worms. But yeah, so there's something here about that, and it feels as though some people have found someone who is like, it's like, I feel the sense of absolute joy of like, oh my gosh, wait, you're one of those people that's going to stand in this challenge with me, that I feel safe enough to communicate this to, and that is going to hear what I am saying, and is going to say something meaningful to me that I can hear, and that I can respond to, and that I can do to help hone or direct or find or fix this connection. And it's like, this illusion card then takes on this different meaning of, oh, you're sharing with me your perspective of what happened here and what you were experiencing, and it's popping this illusion that I had in my head of what you were experiencing. Or if I was only, some people are only looking at it from their point of view, and they're thinking, well, they should feel like this, they should think like this, if I'm doing this, then they should realize that it means this. Shoulding, notice how I'm putting an emphasis on that. If ever you say should, stop, delete, and ask yourself, is it kind to should on people? Is it? It's not. It is never kind. It is never kind to say, I did this and they should understand that it means this. That's not kind. And so anyway, there is this opportunity to kind of burst this illusion and actually make progress. And what is happening is it's bringing about a deepening of this connection. It's like through this process of being able to trust you and open up to you and have you trust me and open up to me. And I'm realizing that you're going to be here through this challenge at least. And there's a good chance if you're here through this challenge that you're going to be someone that faces the challenges with me, as long as I'm approaching it from an emotionally mature point of view, right? And you are too. That's how we, deepen a connection. So what we're really looking for in another person, maybe even more so than anything, and this is what I'm getting, is emotional maturity. Is just, and that is something that is relatively easy to identify, honestly. Intuitively, you know. Okay. Ooh, okay, wow. Okay, wow. Okay. Wow. This is like a direct shot, okay? Like, this is how I'm feeling. Okay, now that I've just said that, okay, what I was going to tell you is, and then I stopped myself, is, oh God. If you don't want to hear this, then I'm going to do this when I'm starting to read here, okay? I've been studying how we learn. There are actually people who study cognitive, development. And I found this guy, and I wish I knew his name, and I wish I knew the video, but he was talking about how we learn, our most efficient way of learning. Because I've been trying to learn how to paint forever, and I'm actually going to start a YouTube channel. If you're interested in following, I'll let you know, of my journey into trying to paint. And really trying isn't the word I want to say. Painting is the word I want to say on a very regular basis. I realized through tarot that when I started doing tarot, I committed to developing my intuition on a daily basis, cultivating that relationship. And I'm trying to cultivate a relationship with painting as well. And it's something that I do like for a while and then I stop. But I when I turned 50, I bought myself all these amazing art supplies and stuff I really wanted to play with and experiment with and like get down to the bottom of. And it's like I haven't done it. So anyway, I feel really overwhelmed every time I try to make a video in relation to this like painting thing, even though I'm doing it, okay? And so I realized that maybe what I want to do is take like a different point of view of it or look at it another way. And I realized that I wanted to have some kind of approach to it that made sense to me, okay? And so I realized that I wanted to sort of try to intentionally learn a skill along with whoever wants to join me, right? And so I found this guy's video, and he's talking about, he studied it his entire life, how we learn best. And he's talking about like, if you want to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, he's like, you would think if you just shoot a bow and arrow every day for 30 days, which is what I have pretty much done with painting in my life. I mean, I am a trained artist, but in photography. So painting is like totally different, but I do have some knowledge of like the principles and elements of art and stuff like that. But anyway, he said, if you just shoot an arrow day after day, you would think you would get better at the end of 30 days. You would see some kind of improvement just by the sheer nature of doing it. And he goes, but you don't. If you can actually go the opposite direction because you don't have any sense of direction. He was like, what you actually need to do is shoot the arrow. And let's say, your bullseye is here. If your arrow lands over here, I don't know if you can see that, but over here, he's like, then you need to kind of look at it and sort of hypothesize, like, what are the things that I could do that could get the arrow closer to where I want it to be? And then you try one thing or two things. What I was doing is I would binge watch like 20 or 30 videos on how to paint. And then my brain, what they call that is cognitive overload, where you've taken on so many different ideas and so many other people's opinions and so many different things that you can do to move your arrow from here to here, that when you go to try to do it again, your brain is overloaded. Like, for example, with the bow and arrow thing, it's like, okay, hold your breath, stand with your feet apart, pull back the arrow, hold it for a second, really take your time to aim, You're not even shooting the arrow anymore. You're consumed with trying to actually physically reenact all the tips that you took on. And so, and when you change that many things, let's say your arrow goes from here to here and you miss the bullseye altogether, right? Bhakti, no. Oh my goodness, what is it? Then you have changed so many things, or you were focusing on so many things. It's like, which thing was it? And then you don't know which thing to change. But if you just try, being very simple and then changing one or two things or adding one or two things. The problem I had is that I bought paint and paintbrushes and canvases and this kind of canvas and that kind of canvas and this kind of crayon and this kind of scratcher thing and this kind of paint putter on thing and gesso and you know what I mean? I bought like everything. And it's like, I have no idea how any of these things actually work. You know what I mean? I need to experiment one thing at a time, or just a few things at a time, and then realize what they do through experimentation, and then apply different techniques, or try different things. And so anyway, yeah, there's this whole process of cognitive learning that actually maximizes our ability to learn things. And that's what I'm saying with this relationship thing. It feels like, if you're back here just always thinking about the arrow that landed here and how it could have, if you had the opportunity to work, landed here, instead of saying, okay, that arrow landed there, I accept that. What can I do different next time? What one or two things could I change next time that I get into a relationship, or the next time I'm looking for someone to be in a relationship with? What am I really trying to pay attention to? And see, when it narrowed it down to me for emotional maturity right there, it's like starting at the most basic step, and it's like starting with just looking for someone with the emotional maturity to stand in these situations and trust. And oftentimes it also requires a secure attachment style. And so the best thing that you can do is be the secure attachment style. So look at attachment style when you're not with someone, before you even get with someone, and look at, okay, anxious, avoidant, like, what am I? There's quizzes, there's all kinds of information online. It's one of the best things we can do. And it's something that's changeable. So we can actually work to become a more secure attachment style, right? So the thing is, make yourself the best platform, the best ingredient to show up to the equation, right? And then look for one thing or two things in someone that aren't like, oh, they make a good living or they have a sense of direction. I mean, those things are important, I guess. But like, if what you're really looking for is someone that can overcome the challenges, if you can overcome the challenges with someone, you can overcome the challenges with someone. You see what I'm saying? You can face life head on. Okay, I'm coming back to the reading now. And so, you will, all of the rest of it will fall into place. If that person doesn't have a career, if they don't have a job, if they don't have this or they don't have that, you together will be able to navigate that space. You'll be able to have the hard conversations. You'll be able to work through those things. Okay, now we got these cards, and this is where the shot comes in real direct, right? So it feels to me that there's like two people here, right, in a relationship, and they each have their own idea of how we get to where we're trying to go in a relationship, or what it means to be a good partner in a relationship. And a lot of times those are based on the relationships that we've already had, or the things that we're actually looking for in a partner. So let's say the last person someone dated was someone who really was concerned about their Instagram profile and wanted to always be doing something exciting, something that looked good on Instagram. They always wanted their partner to look amazing and to be camera ready and to take lots of selfies and to have patience with that. And so this person gets into a relationship with someone who has no Instagram followers, because now this person is just sick of that and doesn't want to really deal with that, but they're so trained and programmed to sort of be that person, and that's what people want in a relationship, that they show up for a relationship with someone who doesn't have an Instagram follower as someone who was the best boyfriend or worked really hard to be the best boyfriend, let's just say, for someone who had a large Instagram following. So they're constantly trying to do really exciting dates that look really good, and their person's never taking pictures. Their person is, you know, maybe never even really expressing a ton of gratitude or a ton of like, wow, I can't believe you planned this date. Because that person, what they really like to do is Netflix and chill. They're a homebody. They like to be home with their dog and their favorite movies or their favorite books, snuggling on the couch. And they like to cook, and so they would actually rather cook for the person than go out to eat. And maybe they have a real particular diet, so it gives them a lot of anxiety to go to these restaurants where, you know, there isn't a lot on the menu for them or whatever. But each person is having a hard time saying, you know, you never say thank you for all the trouble I go to plan these dates and for all the money I'm spending doing this, and the fact that I show up looking really nice and then we don't even take a picture. And the other person is saying, well, you know, that's not really my speed. That's not really my style. That's not really what I enjoy. Or like they want to say nicely, you know, thank you for taking me on these really amazing dates. It's really nice. And I see that what you're trying to say to me is that I'm someone worth investing in and that I'm someone worth planning for. And I do really appreciate that. And I don't want to discourage you from doing that. However, you know, I would like to share my passions or my joys with you. And I'm really passionate about cooking, and I'm really passionate about 80s movies, and I'm really passionate about my dog, and I'm really passionate about, you know, I don't know, like I'm just making this up. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's so there are these, we come into a space with these expectations of like, okay, this is what I think you're looking for. And this is like what I, through my experience, sort of know is the best thing to be, right? But if you are looking for something different, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I hope that makes sense. Like, I hope I'm explaining, because it's a very abstract thing that is being shown to me. And then it's like, okay, so maybe my expectation is that we're moving toward, you know, a committed relationship or something exclusive, right? And I'm doing what I think is going to get us there, but it doesn't seem like we're really getting closer to it. And you're doing what you think is going to get us there, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get closer to it. There's this energy of thinking of like, okay, wait, why isn't this working? You know, I see that this person is trying and this other person is trying, and we're both like showing up and we're both emotionally mature, and why isn't this coming together? And there's this energy with the thinking of, when we're just thinking and we're not expressing, we're not communicating, we're sort of keeping it to ourselves. And so what you're thinking and what I'm thinking might be really different. But there is something in the foundation of this where it's like we both want this to work, and there's no reason why it really shouldn't, because you're willing to try, or you're willing to be, you know, to be your best self or whatever and show up for this, and so am I. And so it's obvious that there's something that hasn't been said, and these things may be stacking up, or these things may be like it keeps giving me like the 10 of Wands. Like it's getting to a point where it's becoming so burdensome that either this relationship is going to end, you know, because we can't get through it, and this becomes the roadblock and the thing that prevents it from being a relationship or whatever, or we agree to put these burdens down, and that usually requires us to make some kind of agreement, which requires us to stretch ourselves and to put ourselves out there vulnerably with each other and have the conversation, the difficult conversation, maybe even some kind of confrontation, or it may feel confrontational, or it may feel awkward. But it is one of those things where it's like, it's either going to be a roadblock that ends the relationship usually, or it's going to be something where we can set all these burdens down and we both feel better. And the thing about it is if we are able to set these burdens down and we both feel better, we've grown. And we've grown together as a couple, and that has deepened the connection. So there's something here, okay? And I don't know I don't know where everybody fits into it, but I do feel now that it is for everybody, okay? Here we go. Where's this leading? Where's this leading? What's happening here? Okay. 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 So I have my Divine Doorways deck that I love. I don't use it all the time, but whenever I do, I just feel like it's a small but mighty deck. I don't know why, but I feel guided to show you the box. It's small. Okay. Anyway, I have no idea why I did that. But anyway, you have this silent skill, and it says, I challenge you to unpack your mind. In meditation's grace, the soul can unwind. So this is giving me this vibe of sometimes we just know something isn't right, or there's something that's bugging us and we can't really put a finger on it, or it is really hard to communicate. It's like we've been thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, and it's like I can tell this person's showing up and they are planning dates, and all my girlfriends are so impressed when I tell them where we're going and what we're doing, and they're like, dang, that guy's working hard for you, blah 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 blah, and they're all so impressed. But it leaves me feeling kind of empty, or it leaves me feeling like, oh yeah, that was fun, but like it's not really me, or I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm, like I said, I'm making this up, right? But it's like, we just don't know. We can't really put our finger on it. That happens a lot. And this is saying, you know what? So don't think about it. Just relax and just sort of, it's kind of giving me imagining where you would like it to be, or what the version that you want, and then looking at the difference of it. Like, what does the version of what your highest and best self can bring about? Like, okay, it looks like this. Like, maybe we don't have those dinners, but like on special occasions, like once a month on the 18th or the 20th or the 22nd, or you know what I mean? I don't know. Or like it's a planned thing that we're both like, okay, yeah, and we're gearing up for it or whatever, or we're prepared for it or something. Or maybe it's you do one date and I do one date. Or maybe it's I say, you know what I would really like more than anything is to cook for you, and so let me, invite you over and cook for you. And okay, then they can show up, and then it's like, all right, now I'm showing you the virtues of what I like to do. And like, there's some balance, there's some happy medium, there's some whatever that can be worked through, okay? And then you have a cure for longing. Love is happiness, a spark inside. Live deliberately and choose boldly. Then you have arrived. Yeah. In order to have what you want, sometimes you have to push through what you're afraid of. And a lot of times what we're afraid of is expressing our authentic truth and being who we really are, and risk being loved or not being loved because of it. Sometimes we're afraid of being happy. Sometimes we're afraid that, like, if I just confess that I would rather just stay home and snuggle on the couch than like go out to some fancy expensive dinner, I'm going to be too boring for you and you're going to let me go. And I'm not really ready to let this go because I see so much potential and I enjoy our time together, even when I'm doing something that I don't actually really want to be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Where the other person might be like, oh, seriously? I'm kind of a homebody actually also. I just thought that girls like to be taken on dates or whatever. Like, I don't know. But there's this reckoning of, I was under this illusion and I was under this illusion. And now that we are popping this illusion, now we can get down to a space that's more authentic. Which is what I'm really looking for. That's really what I want. And it brings about change. And you have change beckons. The path is shifting. The road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed as change beckons today. It deepens. It becomes more authentic and more of what it is that you're actually longing for, what you're actually wanting. When it's right. And when it's wrong, it's like, oh, okay, that pair of jeans didn't fit. Done. Tried them on and I'm done. I don't have to try them on again. I know they don't fit. I can let it go and I can move on. I know what I'm looking for. All right. I don't know, you guys. Sometimes my analogies are astounding even to me. All right, here we go. All right. The Hanged One. Pisces energy. Wow, the Seven of Cups, Pisces energy with the Devil. And the Seven of Cups is illusion. And it's these things that keep us stuck. It's like, this is what I think that you want from me. Oh my God, I love this. So I love the tarot. Honestly, I really do love just reading tarot cards. And I do love this deck also. But lots of major arcana here. So this is something that we're facing as a part of our, like, the major life journey, you know, what we came here to achieve. Like, we're going through some kind of stages of, you know, cracking the nut that is us, you know, and what we're here to do and achieve and accomplish. Okay. And so it's so interesting, like in the Fool card and in the Hangman, she's upside down. Okay, let me clarify this Devil. I'm just going to take one. I'm going to clarify both the Devil and the Seven of Cups together, but I just, you know how I am with the Devil energy. We get trapped in these prisons of illusion of what we think someone else wants and it not really being what they want. I don't know. This is such a strong effing message today, Lord. And I feel as though I'm working something out. It's like this morning when I was meditating, I got handed this scrambled ball of yarn that was like all just a mess. And now we're crocheting with it. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel. So I don't know, but I always think that the way that I'm feeling and the way that things happen and unwind for me is it has meaning to whatever message is trying to be delivered to you. So I just share, okay? So the Page of Wands in reverse is kind of like, you know, actually what this is giving me is like, I actually want this, but I don't want it like this. And see how he's upside down after I literally just said these two people are upside down. Wow. It's like, this is what I want, but this isn't how I want it. And there is this Devil energy where she's in this cage with a blindfold on and really protecting herself. You see how she has her knees drawn up and her arms across her knees, but she's naked. The energy of being naked in tarot is about vulnerability. That's why I do not draw clothes on my people, because, and people have recommended that I do it. You know, sometimes I'll pull a crystal and make crystal clothes for them. But no, they're actually, it's that way for a purpose and a reason. And I guess the artist in me just hates censorship. Watch, I'm going to get flagged for this. But what it is saying here is that, you know, what I'm protecting myself is from being vulnerable, is from having my authentic self be seen here. I'm covering myself up as best I can. And I'm closing my eyes to what I don't want to see so that I don't have to talk about it, or I don't have to deal with the conflict, or I don't have to whatever. And when we do that, we get more of the same, it's like, technically this is what I want. Like, I want a relationship, or I want closeness, or I want connection, or whatever, but like not like this. And with the Seven of Cups, it's like this illusion that we're all living under of what other people really want from us. Do you know what I'm saying? And even sometimes what's really in front of us, what we're actually dealing with. Like, we can be sitting across the table from someone who's like red flag city, but like if we really are craving connection and we really want connection, we can convince ourselves out of anything. I mean, my sister really wanted to have kids and her biological clock was ticking. And every time this guy came into this restaurant where she was working, gave her his phone number and was like, hey, let me take you out sometime. And she was like, I'm not attracted to him at all. And she was like, I'm not into it, da 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 da. And then she went out with him and she was like, oh, it was like this red flag and this red flag and this red flag. But then she would keep dating him. She ended up getting pregnant. He's like a complete not very good person, if you know what I mean. He's like a really bad person. Like, oh, I don't like to judge good or bad. Like, we're all struggling with this, being a spiritual being, having a human experience, and where we come from, and we're a product of a lot of things. And I'm not trying to be like a judger type person, but he has wreaked havoc in so many people's lives. Anyway, but she just really wanted to have kids so bad that she just kept dating him. And now her life has it's not a very enjoyable place. Like, I can tell you, she's not a happy person because, and I don't want to say it's because of this, but like in large, she doesn't have a moment of peace because she has to deal with this person. And so anyway, it's like, yeah, she got what she wanted, but she didn't get it the way that she wanted it. In order to get it the way that you want it, you have to be authentic, and you can't be afraid of being vulnerable and being seen and showing someone, like, this is who I am, this is what I want, this is what I need, like, take it or leave it, and maybe not so much take it or leave it, that's kind of harsh, but you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't be afraid of being actually really seen. You can't convince yourself that, like, if I can just be what they want me to be, then I can get what I want from this. Like, it will always be upside down. It will always be, something that is like just sort of out of your reach. With this Strength card on the bottom of the deck, it's a really beautiful energy to have on the bottom of the deck, because I always say, like, the Strength card is the antidote to the devil, right? It is where we overcome these lower vibrational tendencies. It's where we learn how to be brave. It's where we find the braveness inside ourselves, the courage to be who we are, naked, without reservation, in front of another person, saying, this is what I want, so that we can have some hope of getting it. With the Fool card, this is someone moving forward without reservation, and she's smiling. She's upside down and she's smiling, and she's got her wings on her foot. She is at peace. She's no longer like, oh, this is what I want, but I'm not getting it, and da 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 da, blah blah blah, and I'm trying to people please and accommodate or whatever. She's like, no, I'm truly happy. I don't need to be anything more than what I am. These fake wings that I was wearing to try to make people think that I was something else, or that, I was this or that, or whatever I thought that they needed me to be, or to jump through these hoops or whatever, I can take them off. I'm completely free being naked right here and just showing up, even if I want to be upside down. And with the Hangman, this is, again, she's naked, but it's this energy of, like, I want to say sacrifice. Sacrifice is a word we associate with the Hangman, but it's not sacrifice in terms of I'm sacrificing what I want and what I need. It's sacrifice. I'm sacrificing putting myself through being awkward and facing my shadows, and the more I do it, the more clear I feel, the better I feel, the more I realize, like, even how it sort of benefits me. Whenever you sell yourself short or kind of betray yourself in a small way or a big way, and we've all done it, like, we especially do it socially. You'll go out and you'll say something to accommodate someone, or, like, let me just use, I hate using things like this as an example, but this is the one that's coming up. if you're sitting in a room and people are saying things about, and this one is hard. I've had to do this myself a few times, and I actually lost a really, really, really good friend over this. Well, I thought they were a really, really good friend, but you know, if you're sitting in a space where people are having a conversation that is detrimental to, you know, another group of people or whatever, you have to say something. You have to. I mean, I think that, I don't know, like maybe not everybody thinks that, but like you have to have the courage to say, you know, because you're the voice when that person isn't there to have a voice. You're the one that says, you know what, I don't condone this. This isn't cool. Like, you have to stop doing this if you want to be in my presence. You're the one that has to make the person who should feel the shame for what they do. And it's not something that, you know, we go around wanting to do. It's very, 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 very hard. And it can feel, especially when you're sitting in a room with other people, very scary. And very like, I'm going out on a limb, but like I have to. You know, like my character, my integrity, me with me depends on it. And not just that, but everything in this world is energy, and we're all connected. And it is an opportunity to show someone, like, I'll just give you this specific example. My friend, one of my very best friends, wanted me to meet this guy that she had been dating. And I mean, I'd pulled tarot on him before, and I felt his energy, and I didn't really think he was the right person for my friend, but like, that's just my opinion, you know? And also it's like, maybe that's what they need for where they're at or whatever. But anyway, she wanted me to meet him. And I met him. We went to this like bar restaurant thing. And we're sitting there, and he is making a lot of derogatory comments about a certain group of people. And I kept hearing him say it, and I kept waiting for her to like do something, because she, to my knowledge, is not like that. So she didn't. And this is my first time meeting him. This is my friend who I love, and she's like head over heels for this guy. But I like don't even recognize her. Because she's not the person that she normally is. So I'm like, what is going on? But you know, whatever. And so I finally said, I'm sure that you don't mean for it to seem this way or to come across this way. And this is like me. I actually got up from the table and went to the bathroom and collected myself and kind of paced, because I get like, I will start shaking my knee or my leg under the table. Like, I'm that good person. And so I went to the bathroom, I collected myself. I thought, how am I going to approach this with like as much care as I possibly can, because I love my friend. And so, cause normally I would just say something, you know, but I go like, if it wasn't that circumstance. So I went back to the table, and I said to this person, I said, I know it doesn't really, I know I'm not judging you, and I don't want you to think, well, no, I didn't say I'm not judging you. I carefully crafted it. I was so proud of myself in that moment, because I said exactly what I wanted to say. And I took a breath. I pulled myself out of the situation. I did not react emotionally. There was no response that this person could have to me other than the one they had, but they held their shame. They had to hold their shame. I went to the bathroom, and so I come back and I say to this person something like, I'm sure you don't mean to sound this way, because I can't imagine that anyone would intentionally want to sound like this, but you sound like someone who is, you know, anti this group of people, and I can't stomach it. Or like, I don't know what I said, but it was something. It was like just a few sentences, but they were like good. And so this person said, oh my gosh, no, I have a tattoo of someone that's that on my leg, because they were my friend, which I cannot stand that response either. Like, oh no, I had one person in my life that was like that. And I got them, when they died, I had them tattooed on my leg. So you could say this, so you could have a cover and a front that you're not that way. Like, I just sat here for 45 minutes and heard you say like 10 things. That is somebody that's like that, You know what I mean? Period. And I'm not calling you out in a more forceful way because my best friend has feelings for you. So the guy was like super apologetic. He ended up getting a phone call and having to leave the table. And I looked at my friend and I said, girl, what is up? And she was like, yeah, I know, I've noticed that. And I was like, girl, like, that is not who you are. Like, what are you doing? And she was like, yeah, I know, but like, that's just one aspect of him. And I'm like, no. If somebody is like that, then they're like that. Like, there's no, that's just like the part they're willing to show you. Like that, you know, no, she's still getting jerked around by this guy years later. She doesn't talk to me because she knows how I feel about this guy, and this guy has a real problem with me. He does not like me, of course, because I said that to him. But you got to do what you got to do. You have to be your own moral compass. You have to be the person that is like, okay, I realize I'm taking a risk. I realize that I'm being vulnerable. And, or, you know, I realize that I'm sort of putting myself out there, but like, this is something that I have to put myself out there for. I literally, you know, it's like, you know, I mean, I don't think in that moment I was really considering that I could lose my friend, but I just didn't want to hurt her in the process. Like but I had to say something. I like, you have to say something. You have to, because you have to make it not okay for people to feel that way and think that way. We're all connected. This is love. We have to be in a space of loving each other. Otherwise, we're going to destroy each other, and it won't stop until we destroy each other. And don't think that you're not going to get destroyed because you're on this side or that side. No, we all have to be on the side of love, and understanding and compassion. And we can't. We have no choice. I've seen this so clearly when I meditate so many times, and I intentionally. There's like this really beautiful Buddhist prayer where you send love out to like first yourself, and then your family, and then, you know, your community or your town that you live in, and then you go bigger and bigger and bigger until you incorporate the entire world. And I almost always cry at the end of it, just tears for just all the suffering and all the, I mean, people that hate are suffering. I don't know, I'm getting way the hell off your topic here, and I'm sorry about it, but there's just this energy here of being willing to show your truth and being able to stand in that corner and say, this is what I need, this is what I want from you, or this is the price, or, you know, you got to be so careful how you say it, because, you know, it's not an ultimatum, and it's not a this or a that. It's like, I love myself to this degree, and this is what, if you want to be with me, then you have to love me to this degree also. And I understand that falling in love is a process, and that we're like coming together. But in order for me to stay going in this process, I have to know that that's where we're going, and that you're seeing this, and that like we're on the same page, kind of a thing. I don't know. I think I just got way off topic. All right, here we go. I'm sure it has something to do with something, because we're talking about it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We have the 5 of Cups with the Devil, the 7 of Cups, and the Page of Wands in reverse. And we have the Full card with the Ace of Cups. So, again, from the very jump, I was getting this feeling that, like, if you've ended a cycle and you are sort of focused on what didn't work out and you're having a hard time letting it go, there's just this energy of freeing yourself up for what wants to come in. It's like, how long are we going to stay with this old energy? As much as we love that person, it's like, it's about us loving ourselves and realizing that that person can't give us what we need, and that maybe we did invest, and that maybe we did love this person, and that maybe they tried their hardest and we tried our hardest, but it just couldn't work. Like, that pair of jeans was not the right pair of jeans, or at least it wasn't at that time in that space. Maybe they can come back around, but like, life is short, you know? And to like sit here waiting and trying to be in a connection with someone that isn't really giving you what you want. You know what you want, and they're not giving it to you. And this is also like, if you want someone to actually hold at night when you're going to sleep, and this person, you're waiting and hoping that this person is going through a transformational process here, there is this energy of, it's still not what you want. they're still not showing up for you. They're still not giving what you want. I don't know why. Spirit is just like, it's like giving me like this three-way mirror. And it is about busting this illusion, whatever it is, for yourself, so that you can get right back up and go back out there. Because this is waiting on the other side. You have the Fool card and the Ace of Cups. And it's just saying, like, there is this new opportunity. The universe is going to grant you this new opportunity when you free yourself. The Fool card is that zero energy. It's like, I'm not holding anything. I'm not sitting in this energy of regret or shame or guilt or anything. I have freed myself from it. I'm completely honest with myself. And because you have the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, wow, and underneath that you have the Page of Pentacles. So this is really saying, this is helping you confront some kind of fear. And it could be a fear that you're not worthy, or some kind of fear of lack mentality, whatever that is. That is like kind of keeping you in a space of being like, well, maybe this person is going to show up, or maybe they're going to transform. It's like you don't have to put yourself out there to have another experience that might confirm, or might, you know, fall on the side of, oh, it didn't work out again, it must be me. You know what I mean? It's not you. It's just not the right pair of jeans. And it doesn't mean it's not it's just not the right pair of jeans. It's really not that deep. Like, I just keep getting it like that. So I don't know. I know that what you're feeling is real. And so I don't want to like lessen that or something. But I feel like Spirit is really saying, in these cycles that are not making you happy, because we're trying to make you happy. We want you to be happy. God. Can you believe that, you guys? The Nine of Cups, after I'm just saying what I'm saying. Oh, you may not see it yet. You don't know their name. You don't know their face. Oh my God, look at that. Some of you do. But you have the freaking Lovers and the Star card. I mean, it's like all of these paths, this path, jagged and going back and forth on itself and feeling like it's leading nowhere, and facing challenge after challenge after challenge, and having to go uphill the whole time and do the hard thing. And, I don't even, it's like it led me to this person. Oh my God, the Star card, and the Lovers here, this is fate. This is like, okay, this is where I was supposed to get to all along. This is where that path was leading the entire time. I may have gotten stuck a couple places along the way, or I may have faced additional challenges with these rocks on the path here, but this path was leading me to you this entire time. And when you meet this person, it all makes sense. When you meet this person, you almost get on this path of healing. When somebody is willing to stand with you through the challenges, there's a healing quality to that. When they're willing to say, wow, you're worth it for me to be uncomfortable, or I see you completely exactly for who you are, in your vulnerability and in your authenticity, and I love you, I accept you, there's no greater healer than that. That another person can give us. Then you have the Diviner of Cups and the Moon, which are both really Piscean energies. It's the Queen of Cups and the Moon. And this is, when you can't see it, when it's not in front of you, imagine it, visualize it. I'm so attracted to this third eye, and it's like these weird hands here. They could be her hands, but I feel like they're the universe's. It's like, it's not... You're not alone. We're creating it based on what you're showing us, based on what you're giving us. And with the Moon card, it's like, it hasn't been revealed, but it will be revealed. This path, this course, this life is about you finding emotional contentment. Oh my gosh, I got off track so many times that we're like at an hour and already. I'm so sorry. The Fool and the Ace of Swords, guys, seriously, with the Tower on the bottom of the deck. it comes in out of the blue. It comes in completely unexpectedly. I mean, and that, like, honestly, that's how love found me. I just went to visit my grandma and ride my horse for a summer, and I ended up meeting my husband in the grocery store. So, you know, I mean, I wasn't expecting it. It came completely out of the blue, but I had really just closed out a chapter with like my major ex-boyfriend that I dated for a long time before my husband. I had really finally put that to, it had been ending for at least a couple of years. And it finally completely ended it and released it and let it go. And boom, I met my husband. So yeah, out of the blue, very unexpectedly. And it turned my life upside down. I was supposed to go back to college and I didn't. I was like, I met someone. But this is like having the victory, having what you've been asking for, being granted from the universe. Okay, you communicated this to us, and you communicated it not just through your visualizations and your manifestations, but through your action by letting something end that wasn't right for you. And here we go. Now we're coming in with your success and your victory. Be ready to take this leap of faith, for fate, for this moment. You're free and clear in the perfect energy for this moment that's in front of you, for this relationship, for this person, for this thing that is unfolding. Yeah, you have the Page of Coins and the Three of Wands with the Eight of Swords. You've broken yourself free of the prison you were in with your thoughts and your thinking. What if this is the only person I ever love like this? What if this is as good as it can get? Or worse yet, like, this person is my happiness. I can't be happy without this person. This self-imposed prison that you put yourself in. With the Daughter of Coins, it's like I learned my lesson, and I learned how to kind of like invest in myself and in my goals and in my dreams and grow the things that I want until that person comes, until I meet that person. With the Three of Wands, this is saying, you know, I made the choice. I made the choice to put the past behind me, and I'm looking to the future. I am waiting for my ship to come in. I am planning and I am strategizing, and I'm making my life the place that I want it to be when this ship comes in. I don't know when it's coming. I don't know where it's coming from, but I know that it's coming. Wow. You have the Knight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You have the Seven of oh my God. Yes. You have the Nine of Pentacles and Justice clarifying this Page of Pentacles. It's like this energy with the Page of Pentacles, how she's like focused on her own happiness. She's learned her lesson not to hold on to something that's not meant for her and that's not actually making her happy. Does it have the potential to make her happy? Okay, maybe, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. It does not count in love. And so it's not showing up for me. It's not making me happy. I'm coming to peace with that. I'm coming to accept that. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go because I know somewhere out there for me is this person that is meant to be with me. And what is meant to be for me is not going to pass me by and is not going to make me feel like this. And I will be able to be my true self, and it will all make sense when I meet this person, why I went through what I went through. And I will be able to heal all of those things instead of continue to hurt and continue to long and continue to feel separate from. And so we have the Nine of Pentacles and Justice. Every day that we spend in this energy of this Page of Pentacles, of planting the seeds of what we love and creating the life that we want to share with someone someday, is a day that we're spending towards this end of becoming the Nine of Pentacles. When you meet another Nine of Pentacles person, another emotionally mature, stable person that's been able to like make headway in life on their own and isn't showing up solid and stable, and you choose them and they choose you and there's a soul contract there, that's pretty much the highest form of love. Like, there isn't a whole lot more that you could improve upon to make something better, right? But there's definitely a soul contract. That's when it comes in, when you get your life to that place. And then you have with the Three of Wands, with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, it's telling you it's much closer than you think. It's upon you. It's here. The Knight of Pentacles, it's been something that's been slow coming. It's been coming towards you slow and steady. And all of these relationships that you've been through, and all of these ups and downs and hurts and heartaches and sufferings and wrong pair of jeans moments, and days where you just feel like, God, I just don't want to try on another pair of jeans. Like, I'm done. They actually added up to something. You were actually slowly and steadily making progress towards your end goal, towards this moment that you've been waiting for. It's all going to make sense. I just keep getting that. Holy crap. The Strength card and the Two of Cups, that is one hell of a strong connection. You guys have gotten Leo energy here twice. Wow, you have the Page of Wands upright on the bottom of the deck. This is what you want, finally. And you're able to handle it. You're able to appreciate it. You're able to enjoy it. Yeah, you're able to have success with it. The Two of Cups with the Strength card, yeah, that's a very strong soulmate. But it's not even just that it's a strong soulmate. It's that you have overcome your lower vibrational tendencies to be able to accept this, to receive it in the divine feminine energy, and to be able to give it in the divine masculine energy. And you have found someone who's equally capable, because like attracts like. With the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Swords, and the Ten of Swords, this is the wheel that's always turning, that's always spinning in life, that's always changing, that's always evolving. That is us, even. And this is the part of the cycle where we put the hard part behind us. The worst is behind you. Now it's about healing and creating a foundation on that healed energy, on that, you know, the Four of Swords is kind of almost like a meditative state of that I have released all of the past suffering. I've come to a place of peace with it. This is my foundation. I am coming neutral to the table. I am coming as healed as I can be, and that is my platform. That is my foundation. I am a secure attachment style. I'm ready for what I want. Wow. The transformation has taken place. You have the Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups in reverse, with the Five of Wands in reverse. This energy with the Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Wow. This is what has wow. Oh my God. Woo. Wow. In order to release, what is blocking you from emotional contentment on your own and also with another person, you had to go through this journey and this process. It was about, letting go of it's exactly Rumi's saying. And honestly, it's like, God, I hope that people take this in all the way and don't just sugarcoat it and just don't gloss over it. Seek not love, but seek instead the barriers you have built within you against it. Let go of your anxiety. Let go of your avoidant tendency, whatever it is. Come to the center. Come to the secure attachment style. That is your job. That is what you are trying to do. After all of these experiences that have caused suffering, that have presented challenges to you, your only goal, your only job, the only thing that you can do for yourself to bring in what you are looking for is to free yourself from the barriers that you have built within yourself through these past experiences against what it is that you want. Let it go. Especially with the Five of Wands, our fifth chakra is our throat chakra. And our throat chakra and our heart chakra are extremely connected. And so the Five of Wands for me is always that like ball in the back of your throat, that fear of speaking your truth, that moment of authenticity, This may be about carefully crafting what it is you want to say to someone, to, you know, but it is, even in expressing yourself, it is this act of facing the barrier that you've built within you against it. The right person is going to sit with you through that experience. The right person is going to sit there looking deeply into you, trying to hear you, trying to understand you, and trying to give you what you need. That's what the right person does. If the person doesn't do that, they may not be the right person. If they get scared and they run, or they say, I'm just not looking for that, it's best to take them at their face value. It's best to hear what they're saying and go, okay, you're not the right pair of jeans. All right, moving on. Thank you for releasing me from that. But the act of doing it, the act of still making yourself vulnerable, or the act of still being willing to face that barrier and remove it in order to express yourself, in order to get to the other side, which is emotional contentment, and the emotional contentment with another person, the act of that shows the universe that you're ready. Even if it's not the right person. Even if it's not the right person. Even if that person can't stand in the challenge. It shows the universe that person's not ready. But what happens is it brings in someone who is ready. This brings about the transformation that brings in the person who is right. So it either transforms what you've got to a deeper level of commitment, or like a more impressive relationship, or it ends it. And it's kind of the same thing with my friend. You know, I had to be brave. I felt I had to be brave in that moment. And I had to express that that was just not okay, and that I wasn't going to sit through it, and that no one should. And that if you're going to talk like that, then you better be willing to pay the price for that. And you know, my friend chose that person over me. And we'd been friends for over a decade. And you know, it's okay with me. I am totally fine with it. Because I chose my words carefully. And I did what I felt I had to. And what I believed in, and what was integrous to me. And had I not said anything, I would have been in a wormhole of days on end of beating myself up. Why didn't I say something? Why wasn't I brave? Why wasn't I courageous? And you know what that would have done? That would have increased the barrier within me. I would have held that person's shame. I would have taken on the burden of that night. Because I knew better and I didn't say something. And you know what? I know my friend is not happy. Not that I want that. I definitely do not. I wish that she would be happy. You know, and if she were to call me tomorrow and say, hey, meet me for a cup of coffee, I would absolutely show up. I have no ill will. We all go through what we go through, and we gotta hopefully grow through it. But, you know, and hopefully, you know, whatever, she will someday do that. But the thing is, like, I'm not sitting with it. I'm free and clear. I'm not walking away from that experience holding something that does not belong to me. It's an act of rebellion, and it's an act of courage every time that we do that. Because society tells us, be a people pleaser, don't say anything, go with the flow, be normal, fit in, don't risk important friendships to you, the person and the relationship are more important. No, they're not. Nothing is more important to me than my own integrity. So anyway, there you go. I don't know. I feel a little soapboxy right there, and I'm really sorry about it. But because I don't think I know more or better than you, and I think that you guys are probably the people that also stand up for those kinds of things when you need to. But you know what I mean? We all sometimes hold the bag, like where we wish we would have said something and we didn't. And it's not just about like social topics like that. It's even in relationships, intimate relationships, where it's like, man, I knew in that moment that this date really wasn't for me, or that, you know, this really wasn't my style. But instead of being brave and saying, you know, I really appreciate all the time and effort you put into planning this, but next time can we do something like this, or however you want to say it, you know, I just said thank you, and it was a great evening, and good night. You know, and then I hemmed and hawed for 3 or 4 days. Should I say something? Is it a problem? Is it not a problem? You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's just be honest. Let's just be vulnerable here. All right, guys, this is what I have for you. I hope it helps. It's extremely long and verbose, and I'm sorry, but I do feel like, I feel actually like I have a clear conscience, and like, yeah, that was the message that was supposed to be delivered. And so hopefully it resonates, it hits. All right, until next time, guys, I send you off with all my very best. And thank you again for being little alchemists in my life. I love you. You're a very powerful group. And you are the ultimate healers of the zodiac. And I am so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time, guys, all my best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.